Hello and welcome to Great Asian Mysteries, a Maiko original, the show where we talk about baffling and mysterious crimes being committed as we speak. I'm your host, Zito Khan, and today we're going straight to India. On April 24th, 2012, Sheena Bora did not show up to her job as the assistant manager. On the same day, her boyfriend, Rahul Mukherjee, received a text from her, and that text indicated the breakup, that I'm done with you, it's over. A very, very tough day for Mr. Rahul. Now, he repeatedly filed for missing case reports. Why? Because she was never seen again. After that text, gone. No trace, no nothing. Vanished. So he kept applying for the cases, he kept reporting, but the police did not take him seriously. Why, you may ask? Because of Sheena's older sister, Indrani Mukerjea. Yeah, she played a part in this whole case, and we're going to get to it. She claimed that Sheena left for the U.S. to pursue further education, but her passport was still at home. It was left behind. And then she claimed that she was issued a new passport, and then she, left with that one. Okay, Indrani, if that's what you say. And this stayed for a while. Nobody cared to investigate further. Nobody cared that, okay, this seemed a little odd. Why would she just make something up like that? Like, how do you just throw your passport away like that and go with a new one? And who issued it? Why was it issued? Did she even apply for it? Is there any date? Is there any documentation? Nobody cared. It was left for dead. 2015. For 3 years, nothing happened. I mean, Rahul, he kept looking. He did everything he could. But for 3 years, nothing happened. And then in 2015, Indrani's driver was arrested for having illegal weapons. After the arrest, he confessed that Sheena had been murdered. 3 years after she disappeared, never to be seen again, no trace, no nothing, the confession came in that she'd been murdered. And that's not it. Another secret came out 5 days after the driver's arrest. And that's not it. That was not the only revelation. 5 days after the driver's arrest, another secret has been out. What was it? Sheena's younger brother confessed that Indrani Mukerjea was not Sheena's older sister. She was, in fact, her mother. Now, to understand what led to the murder of Sheena Bora, we need to go back in time and delve into the history of the family and see the secrets, the violence, and the cycle, and everything that led up to this tragedy. Sheena Bora was born in 1987 to Indrani Mukerjea and her then husband, Siddharth Das. And Indrani claimed that she was a result of rape by her own father. But then this was never proven, so it's most likely not true. After 2 years, she divorced Das, and she left both her kids, the younger brother Mikhail and Sheena, with her parents, their grandparents. It's the same father, by the way, who she accused that raped her. I don't know how she's comfortable with leaving the kids there. If that is true, that's what she believed, but that is what she did. And after that, she moved to Kolkata, and she married a man named Sanjeev Khanna. And she was married to him for 9 years, and she had another daughter with him. After 9 years, she divorced him, and then she married a man named Peter Mukerjea. Now, this is important. This is very important lore and detail, so you got to keep this in mind and all these names in mind because they all play a part in this family tragedy. In 2006, Sheena and Mikhail learned the identity of their mother and they found out the truth about her, so they joined her in Mumbai. Now, Indrani, after, she was reunited with the children, she introduced them as her younger siblings, and then she concealed the actual relationship. Now, this deception is a huge element in this story and in this drama, so keep this in mind. Right now, the public eye, to everyone else, these two are younger siblings, not her actual children. And she maintained this. And also, Indrani admitted Mikhail into a mental institution so she could silence him and maintain the lie. Now, Sheena, she maintained the lie. She kept with the story, and she eventually got a degree, then she got a job, and she started working, and then she began a romantic relationship with one Rahul Mukherjee. Rahul Mukherjee was the son of Peter Mukerjea from the previous marriage and the stepson of Indrani. Keep this in mind. A little convoluted, but things turned ugly. After the driver's confession, Indrani was also arrested. They were both accused of luring, abducting, and then murdering Sheena and then burning her body so she wouldn't be traced and there would be no evidence of what really happened and they wouldn't be accused of it. And this is where another key figure enters the frame. And you got to keep in mind who he is. We just talked about him. And this is where things take a turn. Who was the key figure? Sanjeev Khanna. Oh, yeah. So the driver, Rai, confessed to the brutal and weird details of the crime. And he also confessed to exactly what happened. Now, what really happened was that Indrani lured Sheena into the car and they took her to a remote location. There, Sanjeev allegedly strangled her to death. After the strangulation, they placed her body in the back seat to make it look like she was sleeping. Although it doesn't make any sense. How would anyone sleep after doing this to themselves, apparently? So they did that, and then they drove her to a place in Raigad, and that is where they burned the body and just completely decimated her to get away with it. Now, that is just gruesome. If you think about the details, that's just so messed up. And why was Sanjeev involved? Why would this dude just come up and burn this innocent poor girl? Was he trying to win her affection again? Was he competing for love? Love can make you do weird things. Just don't, take part in murder mysteries or whatever. But yeah, this is what happened. And that's so gruesome to even think about it. Peter Mukerjea, the current husband and apparently winning the lovers' race, had also been arrested because he was allegedly involved in this conspiracy as well. Now, he and Indrani were siphoning money from their businesses and depositing it under a secret account under the name of Sheena. That could be a potential motive because they were illegally moving money, smuggling money. And what if Sheena blew the whistle or did she do something that did not go with their plans and they decided to, murder her in cold blood? Is that a motive? It's possible. Now, charred bones and teeth and remains were found at the disposal site. And with the DNA analysis and investigation, it further led to some secrets being unveiled. The identification was with Indrani's name because, they're identical, they're biological. So the femur bone that was found led straight to Indrani. Who else could it be? But then this was also dropped because they thought it's a mix-up in the evidences. Maybe there was a confusion, there was some sort of mishap. But then that did not go down like that. It wasn't dropped. Eventually, Indrani was charged with murder and kidnapping. And yeah, she was served. And this whole drama case, this whole courtroom hearing was a sensation. It was a media sensation. It was a whole dramatized version of it as well. And it went everywhere. This was famous. People knew about it. It was messed up. People had opinions and they were posting about it. And just think that your own mom and one of your dads just offs you and burns you to the point of being barbecue that's not even edible anymore. It's so sad. The trial was a sensation, and the prosecution claimed that this was a very compelling case because of the driver's confession and the way he was, giving out the details and the testimonies going with it. However, in 2022, after serving 6 years in prison, Indrani was granted bail because there were witnesses who had to testify, and that is why she was granted that bail. And also, while she was in prison, she wrote a memoir, which she released in 2023, titled Unbroken. In that memoir, she gives her perspective on the case, and she claims her innocence. The audacity. The case is still ongoing, by the way. The tragic murder of Sheena Bora signifies how darkness, greed, lust, love, power, strange motivations, and ill intent, what these things can do when you have them in you, especially in your family. As a family member, I would say, please look out for your family members. Make sure that no one's doing anything shady. If you find something odd, talk to a friend, report to somebody, make sure you have some evidence and be wary and take care of yourself and keep that safe distance. Because you never know if it's a friend or a family member. Because darkness can consume any